First of all, I got to give Purdue a lot of credit. They went out there and executed, did a really good job. They played really well. Scored a lot of points, partially because of how we played. Offense, defense, and special teams just wasn't good enough tonight. I thought there's some tons of great takeaways that we can pull from this, and then there's also things we have to continue to get better at. So, got to give them a lot of credit, and just want to thank all of our veterans. So, with that, Andy. Everything. What were the issues? Everything. We listen, there's no excuses. I mean, coaches stand up here and we give interviews and everybody does their articles and then they say, and then, well, that's an excuse for this. There's reasons. There's no excuses. I mean, we're decimated right now at the linebacker position. We got some guys playing at that position right now who haven't played college football. We got some guys who are freshmen, true freshmen. I mean, Kingsbury played tonight as a true freshman. That's not where we want to be. We got some depth issues. We had to stay healthy at that position for us to have success on defense this year, in my opinion. We didn't. We lost some other guys tonight. I mean, we lost we're down to one running back. You want reasons, no excuses. You want reasons. And then he gets dinged up on offense. It changes how you're managing and calling a game within what you're doing. They continue to score. Forces us to be able to do some certain, not different things, but it just puts a little bit more stress on you on offense. We got to take the field goals, turn them into touchdowns. But if we're expecting like every drive just to go down and score a touchdown, I think that's going to be easy in the Big Ten. It's not going to happen. But I thought, we first three possessions in the first half or second half or punt. Then we finally get a field goal. Just to be able to do something, to be able to use our timeouts. If we get to a point, we score twice, then the next touchdown wins the game. You're starting to think that way as you kind of go in the second half. I'm proud of the way we finished on offense, but defensively, 600 yards of offense is not good enough. And that's completely unacceptable, period. Any way you slice it, cut it, there is no silver lining in 600 yards of offense. So, but you got to give them credit. I mean, they played really well tonight, and we did not. But again, there's reasons, not excuses, but there's reasons why, and that's why I'm not discouraged. I mean, I know those guys are going to be really good players one day. They're just not there yet, and they're forced into a position to play. And we talked about this before, and just in college football in general, depth. Okay, some teams have it, some teams don't. Right now, we're not the deepest team. The depth is young. So if you get in a position where we lose some guys, we lost Dak Evans early in the game. We lost Maverick. We lost Trey. We get one of those guys back. Then we get Newbin dinged up. Yeah. So it was a bad night, not a bad life. It was a bad night.
From a coaching standpoint, what are the things that you're going to look to improve on?
I'll have to go back and look at the tape because it comes down to the coaching piece, the fundamentals, techniques. What we call here, what we call there. But I really liked how I'll just leave it at that.
Third quarter again, the offense, third straight week.
Yeah, I think you guys are just, not you guys, but us in general talking about this third quarter coming out, and everybody makes adjustments. And again, we've had way too many drop passes. They just kill drives. It's simple. Drop passes kill drives. We had a drop touchdown. That changed the whole complexion of the first half. We drop other balls or we're a foot off. The ball's either thrown a foot behind where it gets knocked down. Ball gets thrown at somebody's feet. I thought Ethan made some great throws again tonight. We said this whole thing is about we're just inconsistent. We're an inconsistent football team right now. Period. And when you have an inconsistent, young football team, inexperienced football team, and then you get injuries on top of that, I'm proud of their fight, their scratch, their claw, their howl, their effort. I mean, I'm so darn proud of how hard they play. We don't get ribbons for playing hard. No, but nobody cares. But that's what I love to see because I know the reasons why the result's not becoming the result. Right? Not excuses, but I know the reasons. I've been 1-11 before. I've been undefeated before. I've seen reasons of why that all happens. Coaching involved. So there's a lot of reasons. Our job is to do everything we can to make those reasons better.
You got the defensive stops to start the third quarter.
Yeah.
You feel your defense was coming around then?
No, it was only one stop, Randy. So, at the time I did. we always talk about, no hindsight. So at the time, I'm like, all right, here we go. We got to stop. But then just too many things that happened that were just busts, misfits. And that's how stuff like that happens. When you see these runs come spitting out, when you see somebody uncovered, it's a misfit. Somebody ran into somebody else. Somebody didn't make a call they were supposed to make a call, and we didn't coach very well. But everybody wants their opportunities. And I say this all the time. Everybody wants to play. Everybody wants their opportunities to play. I get it. And then when you get your opportunity, what do you do with it? You're like, whoa, maybe that, whoa. But that's part of it. You got to go through that. But you also hope that they're a little bit more ready than what we were tonight. And but we're forced into it right now. I mean, we're forced into that. And it's unfortunate. It's not fun. Tonight was not fun. I know it was not fun for our players. I hurt for our players. That's a hurt locker room. They give everything they have. We're 5-5, 0-1 in the Purdue season. But we've gotten everything we've deserved this year. And when you look at it, it could go a lot of different ways, but that margin for error is really small. And unfortunately, with this particular team, me included, we haven't been able to get that part done.
Talking about the running game, did you feel like the running backs getting dinged up, or what else was?
I mean, I thought we were denting them pretty early. I thought the outside zone, I thought, 4 and 5 did a good job as the game went on of doing some other things and getting them down. But I thought our inside zone, I thought we were denting the front. But I think there's a lot of hidden yardage we're going to see tomorrow that was still left on the bone. But, when you're playing one back, pretty much after Zach got hurt, it's unfortunate. So it's a combination of a lot of things, Andy. I'd like to watch the film, too, now and give you a better description.
Crab, progressing along, coming into form, you feel?
Yeah, I mean, Crab's a very veteran player. I thought, he stepped up and made some big plays for us tonight. I think if you kind of go back through his performance, he probably wanted to make a few more as well. But again, that's kind of the story of our football season this year. Is just everybody just being inconsistent, and that ultimately falls on me.
I think this is the last time. The last time that you guys gave him 300 yards rushing was Illinois in 2018. Obviously, that was a monumental game and time. What do you feel like, systemically, do you feel like needs to happen?
Well, Andy, with all due respect, I mean, you have a very fair question, but I kind of already answered it. I mean, I know the reasons, and those reasons equal time. I mean, I'd love to be able to sit there and wave a magic wand, but it's time. We got to get some guys back on the field. We got to get healthy. And unfortunately, that's the position we're in right now. And, this isn't the NFL. This isn't where you go into you go in free agency and go get somebody who's been playing in the NFL for 8 years and just plug them in. This is not that. Your depth is your depth. I told you before the season started, we're not a very deep team at some positions. And in those positions, we got crushed with the injury bug. And that's not an excuse, but we've got right behind it. It's not juniors and seniors and people who played a ton of football for us. It's some really youthful players, and we're giving them opportunities to go in there and play. I mean, Matt Kingsbury is going to be a really good football player for us, but he had no business out. No business there playing in a Big Ten game in Week 10, and expected to go out there and have 20 tackles. Now I know his dad. I mean, I know his dad was a Big Ten player. And I know him and his mentality he did. And that's why he went out there. That's why we put him out there. We believe in him. He'll learn from it and grow and get better. He did. Because, when we put Stolsky in there as well. And, Stolsky works his butt off. I mean, he works so hard. But, again, you're talking about freshmen, guys. I mean, it's called the Big Ten for a reason. You get the amount of freshmen we've played and had to play, you get put in a really, really, really tough position. But like I said, 600 yards, 300 yards of rushing is just unacceptable. And everything starts with me, and I'll continue to say that. I mean, but I mean that because I take that very personal when I say that. That's not to cover up anything. Everything starts with me, and we got to get them ready to play, especially as Maverick goes down and Cody didn't play tonight, and then the running back situation and. But we'll get better. I thought there were a lot of we're talking about the negative stuff, but I thought there was some really positive things on there. We had 400 yards of offense, and, I thought Athan did a really good job at times of standing in there, delivering really accurate passes. Again, it's just the word consistency. The consistency piece is what we're not very good at right now. And like I said, bad game. Not a bad life, not a bad program, not a bad team, like just bad game. And unfortunately, it all kind of unraveled for us a little bit tonight. Thought Daniel Jackson had a really good performance. He continues to play at a very, very high level. But we'll check out the tape and see how we can keep improving.
Say one or two more for Coach. How do you not let confidence going forward? Because the way the Illinois game ended, just kind of everything from the start of the game, how do you not allow the confidence to be shattered going into the next week?
I don't worry about our team's confidence being shattered. I worry about just pouring into them so they can continue to keep confidence, to answer your question. Remember, at the beginning of the year, I told you, like, the one thing is this isn't about, like, just humbling this team. This team has to learn they can do it with all those people on that field. And I'm not saying every player, because you can come back and say, well, Tyler Nubin's an All-American. Yes, he's one player out of those 22 that play on both sides of the ball and probably 40 guys that end up playing. But we got to keep pouring into them so they can do it, so they can do it. I mean, we've had some really young players. I mean, think about where Maverick was week 1 to where he is now. That's a very confident freshman, but confident. We're going to keep pouring into them and keep pouring into their confidence. We won't let them lose it, I promise you that, because it's a one-game season. I mean, we're 0-1 in Purdue. We're not saying this happened at Illinois and this happened. We were not good enough tonight for a lot of reasons, and then we'll go back to work tomorrow, and then we'll find those reasons, and we'll work on those reasons all week long, and then go play the #1 team in the country. What a great opportunity. I mean, tonight, you got to give Purdue a lot of credit. Great atmosphere, great crowd. They played really well. I mean, they played, as well as I've seen them play on film. And unfortunately, it was against us tonight, and we were a piece of that. We were a reason for that as well. So we'll get on the bus. We'll do everything we can to get some guys back and get healthy. And if we don't, then we'll get the guys ready for next week.
Did you have any reaction to the Big Ten's action with Michigan?
No, I got 99 problems, and that's not one of them. Got it. You got it. Appreciate it, Randy. Roll the boat, Sky, Mago Gophers. Thanks for coming out.